Hi guys, we're back with another topic for you, and we thought we'd come to you today with
Who is your wedding day for?
who is your wedding day for?
Yeah.
So,
The questions that come with that are all the planning and preparation that you're doing, all the money you're spending, the stress, excitement, that kind of stuff. Who takes priority on your wedding day? Is it
who takes priority?
priority?
That's different to who's your wedding day for.
Okay, who's your wedding day for?
For us, for our wedding, it was for us.
Okay.
Yeah, it was for us, and I think based on the fact that like your mum had passed away, your dad was there, he was involved, but he's not someone who would get involved with the planning of the wedding. And for me, my mum lives overseas, and my dad wasn't a part of the wedding. So it was, for me, it was very much about me and you,
Okay.
but with honouring other people as well, like my mum and your dad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what really did frustrate me was whilst we were planning, whenever I went to, bridal shop or florist or whatever, they'd always say, oh, it's all about the bride. And that used to frustrate me because for me, it wasn't really. I saw it very much, I think because you were so involved in the wedding as well, I saw it as very much us. It was our day. It wasn't about me, just me. And even when, like they naturally put the bride's name first.
Okay,
on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I used to know. Rob and Sonia, I used to put your name first. And I think I just had a little, I don't know.
Be in your bonnet, yeah?
Yeah, about that. I don't know why. I think a big part of it was because I've never been that girl that, from the age of 5, dreaming about my wedding day and what it'd be like and releasing doves into the air. It would just be wonderful. And, that's not me.
So you didn't have a dream about me, like when I come into your life and switch it up and stuff like that. So okay, let's go back to when we met. I know like when we met, like the dream came alive. It's like finally.
Hold on, listen.
Finally, my knight in shining armor has come. The man of my dreams. My tick list has been fully completed, so I can start dreaming now of what my wedding is going to be like and how when I walk into the church, I'm just going to break down because I want to see this figure. That's funny.
I'm going to break down.
Break down this emotion.
Actually, you know what? I better stop laughing because I did cry. Did you think I was crying because I was emotional about marrying you?
Of course you was. Come on, straight.
Please.
That's no doubt.
I told you.
You're that yes.
No, I told you it was just a relief of having to plan the whole thing in 4 months.
No.
It's just the exhale.
No,
just
let's keep it real. Keep it 100 at it.
Yeah,
come on, we know. You saw me as like, oh my gosh, I've made it. Thank you.
Wasn't it you where the priest had to pause because you were sobbing so much you couldn't say your vows?
No, that's me. Yeah, right. That's definitely not me.
I'm really making it up now. No, it's not me. I was so looking forward to being married to you and all of that and spending life with you, but it wasn't for me. The wedding day. I have to admit, the closer the day got, every time someone said, "How are you feeling? Were you looking forward to it?" and every time someone said it, what pictured in my mind was the honeymoon, as in being away. Being away in a hot country, relaxing, not having to plan anything, not having to go to work, none of that.
None of what?
None of the stress that was going on here in the run up to the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, don't big up yourself.
So I think from doing the work, not the work, kind of stuff that we do with couples, being involved in a marriage preparation course.
Yes.
Spending time with numerous people that we love doing, kind of thing. People that are preparing for making that step.
Yeah.
And planning their weddings. We've kind of been able to help navigate some of the challenges for some people.
Yeah.
Some of the cultural challenges, some of the parents' challenges, some of the auntie and uncle flying from abroad, some of my sister is demanding that we do this, my brother wants to do this, blah, 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 blah.
And one of the things we kind of, I think because we've been through the stage now, and although our children are still very young, I think one of the things I find myself saying a lot to the couples is in your moment of frustration when everything is on top and it's stressful and everything, is you get into a mindset where you think, you know what, it's not about you, I don't care, I'm just doing what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can you just,
Flexible
for
can you
their
be?
sake, because
Yeah.
it would mean a lot to them, or you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then there's certain bits where you think, no, I'm sorry, you've had your wedding day. This
Yeah.
is our
So
wedding
talking
day.
about children, you mentioned children. So for our wedding, we restricted it to did we have any children?
We had our nieces because they were doing readings.
But they were older. They were having children.
No, Lauren was
Yeah, go on.
how old was she?
9. 10?
Younger than that. She was
Okay.
younger than that. I have to think actually. I'd have to calculate it, but she was younger than
Okay.
10, 12 years.
So for us, we made the decision that we didn't want to have children at our wedding. Just because of numbers. My side of the family, especially at that time, or I think even still now, we had loads of children in our family. My side of the family as well.
Yeah.
Would have been massive. Would have been a massive thing. And I think because of our vision for the day, for the church, for the evening, we just wanted it to be a certain way, and that was a challenge. That's something that we had to agree on.
I think what we'd been exposed to when we were younger is going to weddings where there were a lot of children, and of course children will be children, and rightly so, and they are not going to sit at a table for a 3-course meal and then speeches, and so they're going to run around, they're going to want to have fun, they're with all their cousins, friends and all that kind of thing, and they literally just run around and skid across the floor and all of that kind of thing. And because of where we got married in a kind of stately home, wasn't it?
The reception was,
the reception, and it just, and also with the church as well, it's always that point when you're saying your vows that a child begins to cry or scream out loud, and it's in the big echoey church. We didn't want that. But also we just looked at the venue and we thought it's not really conducive to having loads of children. Now it was difficult because, like you said, you've got a lot of young children in your family, like cousins, children's children, and things like that. At the time they were all really young, and we couldn't make the decision to have some and not others. And so we kind of had to, after loads of conversation, make a decision. None. We're not having any children apart from your niece and my niece who did readings. And they were older and not older, sorry, they weren't babies. They were, you know.
So I think that brought up some conversations
we had
and challenges. Nothing major for me. It wasn't major.
Well, we had a few people that didn't come. But a few that didn't come because of that decision.
Major, but
and then we had some that weren't happy. They did come, and then when they arrived at the reception, they actually said to you, "I understand why now."
Yeah. So these are the things that we're talking about. You have to consider for short term, yes, for the day, but also longer term for your ongoing relationships with family members. The influence of parents is huge kind of thing. Obviously, if you've got parents that have a wide network of friends, or you're in church and you've got your mum's friends, your dad's friends, work friends, colleagues from university, that kind of stuff, whatever it is, they want everybody to come and see, especially if you're either the first child, oldest child, or the youngest. So I think depending on where you are in your family as an individual, depending on where your spouse is or your fiance is as well, you really, there's so much to consider.
Or if you're an only child, they're only going to do it once. But I think we do need to mention that in certain cultures, there are, you have traditional ceremonies as well that are not the typical British in a church, an hour ceremony and then you go and eat food. There's that element as well. And there's also culturally that there's a part of the wedding or a part of the planning or part of the guest list that's for the parents. It's for the parents to say, my child, my son, my daughter is getting married. I want to display that amongst our friends and family.
The community, really.
You're required to give them a number of invitations for them to invite whoever they want to invite, whether you know them or not.
Whether you've seen them.
It's not really about you.
I was at your first Holy Communion when you was 4 years, I don't know, come on.
7.
Or when you moved, your mum was born, I held you, I fed you. Yes, I haven't seen you for 25 years.
It's not the point.
So now you're part of our wedding ceremony.
But then you had that. You were inviting people from the barbershop, but you just wanted to advertise to the world that you were getting married. And I remember being really frustrated because I thought for every person you invite, I think when we got married, it was like £40 a head. And that's £40 plus you insisted on that person having a +1. So that's £80 being spent on people that not only do you not know very well, but I didn't know them at all.
I know them. Come on, that's not true, Mrs. Harris. I knew them. It's random, isn't it?
You didn't know the +1?
Probably.
So that was a source of conflict for us because our wedding turned out to be kind of 70-30, didn't it? Because Rob's got a bigger family, especially in this country, and he's got a lot more, there's lots of
Well, I had more
cousins and
Yeah,
sisters,
definitely.
whereas mine isn't so much. And so I was fine with having less people that I knew at the wedding, but there was a moment where I thought, I'm going to look out from the top table and actually not recognise quite a lot of people that's at our own wedding. Not one or two, quite a lot. But that was fine because they're all lovely, so it was great. It's not, no one's causing problems.
That's the challenge that comes when you got married 11 months.
Yeah.
So as far as time and space, obviously, like I met your mum 2 weeks before the wedding. Obviously, we spoke on the phone and FaceTime, and she fell in love with me, of course.
I can't even lie, she did.
So and I think it's those kind of things to consider is actually on your wedding day, what do you want your memory to be? I think those even that project managing your wedding to a certain degree, kind of thing. Actually, how as a character, if I was this extrovert and I wanted some crazy atmosphere or magicians and that kind of stuff, and Sonia was the opposite, what lengths would we go to consider each other, kind of thing. Sonia's been dreaming about her wedding day since she was 4 years old.
Oh, please.
So I had to consider those little things that
I just said I didn't do that, so why are you even putting that in there? That's not me. You're talking about the wrong person.
From when we met, the day that she first laid eyes on me, she had a vision of our wedding day, even though I didn't know who she was and she didn't know who I was. And I had to consider that.
Do you know something though? I know you must be joking in everything you just said.
Right.
But the bigger picture was, I did want to get married. Yeah. Obviously, I prayed and fasted for a husband for 3 years. I did want to be married, but the wedding day wasn't a big thing for me. In my mind before.
It was a big thing for me.
Beforehand. Yeah. I wasn't dreaming of the wedding. I was dreaming of being married. Mm-hmm. And that came with different... Yeah. Sometimes those dreams were nightmares, and sometimes they were good dreams. Not because of you, but because of what if it goes wrong? What if I'm not happy? What if I'm living in a horrible marriage and I can't get divorced? What if all of that? But for me, I can honestly say to you, the wedding day, as much as I loved it, I enjoyed it, we planned it, it was great. That was never for me the focus of us being together. It was always about doing life. Together. And to this day I maintain that I enjoy doing life with you more than planning this one day where and the thing is, a big part of it was I'm not somebody, despite the fact that I'm actually sitting here talking on YouTube, I'm not someone who likes to have focus on me. Do you remember? And so I did everything I could. We chose the smallest church with the shortest aisle. I chose a dress that disguised all the bits that I didn't want people to see. I just had so many issues around having that focus on me. And do you remember on the day on the top table when we were eating now? So we've been introduced, we've come in and whatever, and now everybody's eating. And I remember turning to you and saying, babe, why is everybody looking at me? And he said, but you're the bride. I said, I know, but they've seen me in the church, eat now. I really struggled with the constant focus on me. And that was a struggle.
I think it's important to, picture your day.
To be able to look back.
What you want it to be like, what you want those moments that you can grab together, especially if you want it to be about memories. I think like the photography, being specific about what you want the photographer to capture. The video. That kind of stuff. What you're going to look at, what you're going to think about in the future. 15 years time. What would you have cut that you could have kept? The things that we would have changed for the day, I think, you're interesting because we're 15 years this year, isn't it? This year will be 15 years, So it'd be interesting to look at the video again and that kind of stuff and see how much of the day was for us and how much of the day was for external people. When we teach on the Rooted course and the marriage preparation courses and things, and we talk about not presenting the worst of yourself for your spouse. So you get dressed up and put in a suit and whatever for work, you do your makeup, you do all of that, and you present the best of yourself to the world. But when you're at home, you've got some raggy house clothes. That's how your partner's seeing you on a Saturday when you're not going anywhere. And I think it's the same for your wedding, is you will go out of your way to make sure that all of your guests have lovely food, they have drinks to drink while you're doing your photos, they do all of that. And you will consider them in all of that. How much more your own parents, how much more the people that are close to you that maybe want 10 invites or whatever, how much more for them would you say, okay, it's our day, but we want you to be a part of it and we want you to be comfortable and we want you to be able to show off a little bit to your friends and family. Say, look, my daughter's getting married. I'd love you to be there. How much would you consider
how much would you consider your own parents or those close to you, those that have had a part to play in raising you, in the two of you being together, how much honoring would you show them when actually your guest who you've probably never met because they're a plus one of somebody,
but
you would do all of that, you would feed them and do all of that. There has to be something, maybe if required, that you'd be prepared to go a little extra mile for your parents or those who raised you, those who are going to hand you over now. I think sometimes we do hear couples saying, well, no, it's all about us. It's not about my mum and dad. It's not about, do you know what I mean? And I think there has to be some kind of consideration.
Yeah, some consideration. But I think, again, it's that having a plan, having a vision and having a constant dialogue. Because I think what your vision may be, whether you've planned it for a guy or a girl that's had that picture of what it will be like, is understanding that it's two lives, two families colliding, two cultures, two backgrounds, upbringings coming together. So on that day, again, it's about having a vision, without using Christianese, kind of having a vision of what that looks like and being specific about what you want.
Yeah, making sure what you want is included.
Yeah.
Because I think, again, if it's two different cultures, say one British and one West Indian, or one British and one African, or one Cuban, or whatever it is, making sure that because if your culture is really quite extravagant about certain aspects, say, of a wedding day, that the other person's culture isn't forgotten.
Yeah.
You can't just do all of your big regalia and you play one ABBA song for the guy who was born British. You can't, do you know what I mean? It's considering both sides, because when the families come and they see the display and they see, well, it seems to be all about her, not about him. So there is, like you say, that consideration for both as well. So
there's some tips then of kind of like when you're planning and you're talking about, I think that's a question to have. That should be a question on your tip list. Who is the wedding day for?
Yeah.
What's important? What's a must? What's flexible? What can we kind of come to at a later date when we get the venue? Because obviously once you've got the venue, or you know what church you're getting married at, kind of thing. I think for me it was a big thing about, obviously for us as Christians, making sure that God was central to that. So our DJ, we schooled about what songs we can and can't play. What radio versions of, I think if my time was bashment songs we could play that weren't rude,
that were clean,
but we could still jam to, and everyone would have a kind of that moment.
Bashment?
Yeah, of course you can. I don't know about now, but them days you could. So I think even those bits and pieces, I didn't want to have that like moments, like
because that's what people will talk about more than everything else.
Yeah, I think again choosing your best man, your people that are going to speak.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Thing. I think everybody wants to have a voice.
Yeah.
Do you do an open mic? Maybe not.
Could
because
be risky.
Could be somebody in your family that's going to come, let's have too many drinks and going to start chatting for 20 minutes kind of thing.
Do you remember the wedding we went to where the guy got up on the mic and he said, he was talking about the groom and he was saying, I remember when he used to just chirp this girl, sleep with that one, this. He had a trailer load of girls all behind him. We're like, oh my God. And everyone in the room was thinking, someone take the mic from this man.
And the thing is, obviously, traditionally, that's what the best man's job or whoever the job is. But again, schooling and knowing because the thing is, the best man, obviously, depending on what preparation you do, wedding party wise, that kind of stuff, your best man will be speaking in front of your fiancés or your wife's now family who don't know you too well, who don't know anything about it. So knowing their background and so censoring and preparing as much as you can, if your best man's that kind of person, to know who you can trust and who you can't trust to speak and do things. Because that one wrong comment could crash your day.
You do have to be careful about your wedding party, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Be very careful. Some people just choose people because they'll look pretty or because they're the best or closest or whatever. It's about the clues in the name when it comes to bridesmaids. Your bridesmaids are there to serve you, and they're there in the run up to the wedding to take pressure off you, to be there for you, to hold your dress up when you need to use the bathroom. I mean, literally serve you. Whereas the groomsmen, they help them to play a bigger part, I think, on the day of making sure everyone's settled in the church and who sits on what side if you're going to go down that road and all that kind of stuff. So there is a lot of thought.
I love weddings.
The understanding of what the wedding represents.
Yeah.
But I think you made a really good point. Is when you look back in years to come and not having any regrets. Yeah. Of what you might have shaved off because it was too expensive.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think for me, I love going to weddings. It always kind of brings back that moment.
No two are the same, are they? I know everyone says, it's the same old thing. I think because we get invited to a lot of weddings because we run the marriage and relationship ministry. So I think our record is probably eight in one summer. Well, it was spread through. But we love them because it's seeing two people who have walked a walk, done a journey, you know, coming together. And there's always something, even if the format is the same, the people are different.
Yeah, and the speeches and quite unique. People are getting more expressive now or more creative.
Yeah.
Obviously, even stuff like we even touch on getting married abroad.
I was going to mention, you were speaking then, and I was going to say that can be a compromise because it's beautiful, the setting is beautiful, but not everybody can make it.
Yeah.
So it's whether you want to compromise on having all your friends and family, potentially, as long as people are not ill or away, attend because it's local, or whether you go and have that idyllic wedding on the beach with the sunset and all of that, but only a handful of people can come.
Yeah, I know one couple that did a pre-wedding party before they went away to get married abroad. I thought that was a fantastic concept. Yeah. Obviously, cost-wise, it might cost a bit more.
Yeah.
But they were able to have all their friends and family, even people that were going abroad to celebrate as well, in one place and do a food and like a mini wedding type thing. It didn't have a ceremony, but it represented them fantastically. I really enjoyed that concept. And then obviously they went abroad and had their wedding. I think that's a really good idea. I
think the only thing for me that I wouldn't like about that, of getting married abroad, is that I think based on our experience of the wedding with the planning and all of that, is that I wouldn't, the people that come with you, the people that attend the wedding are more than likely going to be around you for, even if it's for a few days, because you might go on to somewhere else for your honeymoon. But I like the idea that we got married, everyone was there, it was fantastic, and then we had our wedding night, you know, wouldn't have wanted people in the next room for that.
But and next room for if it's a hotel, you're expected to be.
Even so, I think just being conscious that your mother-in-law is staying in the room next door. And then we got up in the morning and got ready and went off to the airport and flew away on our own. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm Mrs. Harris. I'm like, this is the first time I've travelled on an aeroplane to a foreign country with a guy who is my husband.
Your husband.
Yeah, it was and we got spot. It was announced on the plane that my honeymooners on board. And it was so special. I just think if we had people around us, it wouldn't have been that. It could have been different. Yeah. And I think it's nice. I love the idea of the wedding breakfast the next day. Yeah. When the people who have stayed at your venue all meet for breakfast. I like that.
But it's still the same concept, isn't it? It's still the same thing like
but then you go off on honeymoon.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm talking about if you go out and if that's where you're honeymooning as well, you've got your wedding party for however long.
Up in your grill.
In your grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then something to consider. So what you want your day to be.
Yeah.
Who is it for? What's important?
Yeah.
Who have you got to consider? If you've got a big family, cultural issues.
It's not worth creating
lifelong challenges or issues for
one day.
And again, you keep saying the wedding day is 24 hours for the day. You're probably awake and utilising that wedding day, probably 16 hours, 20 hours at the most. If you're, you see what I mean? So it's about actually, who's your wedding day for, but also who's your wedding for, who's your marriage for, kind of thing. And again, I think for us as Christians as well, it's such a significant part for us to make sure that God was central to what we did and how we did what we did as well. And it'd be interesting to review our video and that kind of stuff and see if someone wants to look at it now, how much of God they would see, how much of us they would see, how much we would say was it for us and for other people.
I don't think they saw God in that first dance.
What first dance? God was, hey listen, God was right there. God was right there. You get me?
Someone watched it with us and I think they looked away.
Why?
At that point, I think it was a bit...
Hey. It's legal. It's legal.
I think on that note we should probably... Yes.
So, welcome to our conversation, or goodbye from our conversation. Hopefully it's given you some insight. So again, if you're dating, if you're single, if you're engaged, I think hopefully it's relevant to have something to consider about to chew over and discuss. And I think if you haven't discussed it yet, if your fiance, partner, whatever, have that conversation.
And if you're married though, whether you would look back now and think, that was perfect, that's exactly what I'd wanted to do, or I wish I'd done that, or my mother-in-law still doesn't speak to me, or my brother-in-law still doesn't speak to me because of what happened. You know, I made the mistake on our wedding day of not honouring my mum, because I read a document about the traditional roles of who does what on a wedding, and traditionally the groom thanks the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And I don't think my mum appreciated that. She loved the fact that you honoured her, but she didn't like the fact that I didn't, you know, and she had raised me. I came from a single parent family.
Yeah.
She had raised me, and I didn't acknowledge her. And I did speak on the wedding day. I mean, try and stop me. But, and I acknowledged the people who had played a part in bringing us together.
Yeah.
And most of them were church people.
Yeah.
And I think my mum didn't really appreciate that. So I've spent the rest of my life apologising.
Because
well,
birthday.
On her birthday, any occasion that we've had since then, I've publicly apologised for not acknowledging her, and then acknowledging her as if it was our wedding day again. But that's my only regret, I think, for our wedding day.
So what we will do is, for us, when we do renew our vows, if we do, and when we do renew our vows, how different would that be to how it was then?
Why are we renewing our vows?
Because that's how I do things.
The vows don't run out.
Don't run out, but you should top it up, innit? Keep
For
it
what?
Fresh. Keep it fresh, innit? I might change my vows, actually. I might change my vows.
To what?
Oh, it's a secret.
Change your vows?
Yeah. I might add something to it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're having a private conversation there.
Yeah.
And hopefully see you again soon.
Yes.
Share.
Subscribe.
Comment.
And like. You couldn't even remember that.
And all of that.
Take care, guys. See you soon.
Right.